Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday night live stream. This is the portfolio review live stream. So if you have a portfolio and you'd like me to check it out, then please leave a link in the chat. Or if you want, go to my Discord channel. I will put a link in the comment section in just a second. Before we go any further, I just want to share with you the membership video, and then we'll get straight into it. So you want to join my membership?
Gotcha. Sign up.
By joining, you won't only unlock members-only content, you'll also be supporting my channel and the growth of the community. Are you ready to do your part?
I'm doing my part.
For as little as a price of coffee a month.
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit.
You'll be able to access all past live streams and get exclusive members-only content.
Yeah, boy.
That's less than 49p a video.
Shut up and take my money.
So if you're ready, join now and become part of this 3D journey.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
All right, so you saw there, you can become a member of the YouTube channel and grab all the live streams from the past couple of months now, or past year, as well as the Dragon tutorial that we created at the beginning of the year, and that's a final complete tutorial session, as well as the anatomy one, which we're going through right now, and also the Thursday ones, which is a bit more chilled, but you get to see a bit more artwork and a bit more projects, like fast projects in those ones. Also, if you want to become a Patreon, you can also grab tier level 3 patrons are currently working on a Velociraptor on how to sculpt one from beginning to end, with all the files as well. They can also access those. It's exclusive to Patreon tier level 3, so if you want, you can become one of them and grab that. Okay. So this is going to be the portfolio review. So let me just get this all set up. Oops, let me just share my screen real quick. There we are. So like I said, this is a portfolio review. I'll just put the ticker tape down as well. And put some background music on. Why not? That one. Cool. So yeah, if you have a portfolio that you want to share, you can put it in the Discord channel. I'll just grab the Discord channel and put that in there as well, because sometimes the link doesn't work for some reason. So I'm just going to quickly grab that link. Set to never expire, copy. I don't know why it keeps doing that, by the way. It just keeps deleting the link. But I'll put that in the Discord channel. Can everybody hear me all right, by the way? I don't know if you can. I can't hear the music. Something seems to be going on. Just trying to figure out what's going on here. Just a mic check real quick. Can you all hear me all right? Mic check. What is that not playing? Audio. Seems to be working all right. Can everybody hear me? Hello. Can someone put it in the chat, please, if you can hear me or not? Just wait for that real quick. Whilst I wait, we'll be working. If you can hear me, we'll be working on the on this fish design I have at the moment. Why can't I hear anything? So we're working on this fish design real quick. And basically what we're doing is I'm going to continue to sculpt this and just carry on sculpting it. And whilst I wait for someone to put their portfolio in the art portfolio on my Discord channel. And then what I'll do is I'll take that and I'll start to talk about it and share it with the online community or on the online stream and take it from there. Let me just put something in the chat real quick. Can you all hear me? I wonder if my site's muted. Nope. Okay, cool. Can you hear the music? Because I can't hear the music on my side. I don't know why that is. It's playing, but there's no sound coming through my headphones. Bit odd. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, well, like I said, I'm going to continue to sculpt this fish creature whilst I wait for people to add their portfolios to the Discord channel. And then we'll pick up the portfolio and see from there. So I guess we didn't get too far with this one last time. We kind of just... this is so strange without music on in the background. 1 second. So yeah, we didn't get quite far with this one because we got so many people put their portfolios up. But last time we started to block out some fins, basic fins on the back of his back here. It's kind of like a fish creature that we're going for. And I don't actually quite know when I'm going to be finished with this one. I think I'm just going to carry on sculpting it until I'm 100% happy. So this could go on for quite a while. I did see online, if I grab this, so I got a pure ref here, and I kind of like the look of some of these here, so I'm kind of taking some inspiration from this, from these designs from Pinterest. And Pinterest is quite a good little website to use if you want to see things or find like references real quick, I should say. So yeah, just going to use that as a point of reference for myself. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I'm just going to look at it from on the side. But yeah, so I'm going to grab a subtool. I think what I want to do is I want to append some extra parts. Now that I have more or less a good looking body shape going, I just want to start appending a few things on here to block it out a bit more, change the silhouette and whatnot. So I'm going to add this here, which is going to be another fin. What I'm going to do is going to put it on the side of his cheek here. Now this creature has actually gone through a couple of different iterations, really. It was going to be a predator creature, but then I decided I was going to change it up halfway through, and so we decided to go for more of a sea creature, deep sea creature rather. And oh, by the way, if can anybody let me know in the chat, in the comment section, can you hear the music on your end, or is it just not playing at all? Because I have put it on to play, but I can't hear it. I can't hear anything. Yeah, just let me know in the comment section for that. So I'm just going to duplicate this a couple of times and gradually make them smaller along the cheek here. Okay. So we will be mirroring this over to the other side as well. If there's nobody wanting to put their work or their portfolio into the Discord, then we will just continue to sculpt this anyway. Oh, it's playing. Okay. It's weird that I can't hear anything. Never done this before. I'm gonna have to sort out my audio at some point. Yeah, it seems to be working. I don't know. I'll just leave it playing. Let me know in the comments if it's too loud for you. You can't hear my voice over it. I'll turn it down a little bit. Cool. I'm gonna grab a cube real quick. I'm just gonna add this to the side of the face here. Just smooth it out. And then manipulate it so that it looks more like a fin. With the move brush. Again, this is kind of just exploration, really. Using this character as a bit more of an exploration. It's not a tutorial at all. It's just a bit of fun. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm just going to inflate that or extrude that a little bit. So it's got some thickness. There we are. And this can just go up the back of the head here. Oops, just pull that down there. Okay, I'm going to quickly Z-remesh this so I can get a better topology. Might be too much there. Let's drop it. That's better. Okay. Also, don't be shy. If you want to ask me any questions about anything at all, then just add it into the chat, and I'll get around to seeing it. Okay. Let's mirror that over. And where are these? Are these there? Yep, those are the ones. I'm just going to merge down and then mirror that over as well. It's not too bad. We can fix it a little later. The good thing about this is that we're still in the Dynamesh stage, so we can really just come in here and destroy things if we wanted to, in order to get exactly what we want. There we are. Cool. All right, so we got another fin going on there. Just have a look at the reference. Let's. I kind of want to go really all out on this. Oh, hey, Cakester. Oh, I forgot. Celestials, nice to see you. And Cakester, nice to see you again. So I really wanted to go all out on this one, seeing as we're not really in a rush to finish it. So we can really go to town with it and do some crazy things. I think the biceps, I think they're too big. I'm going to make them smaller, thinner. A little bit of creepiness factor to it, you know? give it a bit more of a creepy factor by just manipulating the shape of it. And the actual length of the arms, if you just see, let me just try and find that reference. Yeah, so if I bring this over, you'll see the kind of references here. We've got these arms that are really gangly looking arms on them. So, and this one here is quite nice as well, the length of it. But then you start to go into more, you know, well, it is creature factor really. You can see on this werewolf, it's also got quite nice long limbs on them. You're pulling away basically from the normal anatomy structure of a human, and you're creating something more alien. So let's just do that. You know, this could actually become a full creature in a sculpt if we wanted it to. Right now it's just a bust, but depending on how far we get and how I feel, I might just take it all the way to a whole creature. Yeah, get that creepy factor in there with the hands. Even the palms of the hands here, they can be creepier by just elongating them. Or elongating them a little bit. Kind of like how Alien's hands are quite elongated. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, Celestials. I think a full body creature would be cool. We'll just have to see how far we get, because as I mentioned before, this is a portfolio review. So if you do have a portfolio and you want to share it with the live stream, then please add it into the Discord channel. I think I put the link at the beginning of the chat. So if you want, grab the link at the beginning of the chat, because I know that the link in the description box, it's broken, and I just haven't got around to fixing it. It's just one of those things I never get around to fixing. There's so many other things to do. Okay. Oh, Cakester says, I replied to your feedback to my Basilisk Lizard with a couple of questions. Any chance you can have a look at them after the stream, please? Oh, did you? Let me just check. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to have a look into there. Just to see. Okay, yeah, there's quite a bit there. I'll review that and I'll let you know. I'll let you know my thoughts on what you said there. No problem. Sorry, it's just that it didn't pop up on the work in progress feedback, so I didn't get this chance to see it. But yeah, I'll definitely look into that after the stream, or maybe on Saturday, because I'll have a whole day to look into it. He says, I don't want to progress to the next step in case your art has changed something. Okay, yeah. Like I said in the feedback, I think you got a good sort of start to it. There's a few little details, obviously, that need to be reviewed or changed, just so it makes a little bit more sense, or closer to the reference, I should say. But yeah, it's a good start. It's a good little project you got going there. Did anybody else see the latest trailer for the Amazon Avatar film? Is it Fire and Ash, or Ash and Fire? I can't remember what it's called. And if you have, what did you think about it? I'm in two worlds about Avatar nowadays. I think it's a spectacle. It's not really, for me, it's not an amazing film anymore. It's more about the spectacle of it, like the CGI, the use of CGI, and cinematics and stuff like that, and the technology. But as a film itself, I think it's not very strong. You know, and I don't think it has been very strong since the second one came out. I think the first one was all right, but it was basically Dancing with Wolves or Poker Hunters or something. You know, people made comparisons to already existing films, storylines. I think what happened was that they created such a cool looking film that they thought they might be able to get away with just copying or having a very basic story that's been told 1,000 times instead of having like a really good story and really good film. But I mean, it's like I said, I still enjoyed it. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't a total car crash like some other films. So yeah. Now, because he's a swimmer, or this fish thing's a swimmer, this fish creature's a swimmer, you probably have quite big latimus dorsi. Is it latimus dorsi? Little lats popping out here. So we'll just extend these out. Kater says, I thoroughly enjoyed both Avatar films. Only thing I'd say was second film was slightly too long and sort of had the exact same villains. Yeah. I think they should have had. I think the idea of having the villain become one of the Navajo or whatever they're called, Navi, the creature, the blue alien creatures. I think him having become one was a cool idea. And I think it worked really, really well to bring the guy back. But yeah, I think you're right. It was a bit too long in the tooth, the film. I'm not saying I didn't like it. It's just a bit too long in the tooth. Celestial says, I'll still watch it even if they ruin the story. Yeah, I think, you know what? I agree as well. I would also watch it even if the story was ruined, just because I want to see the world building aspect of it. So the idea of the creatures that inhabit the world and all those sort of things. I mean, the actual story could be absolute poo, right? But I think I could give it a pass if the visual effects and like I said, the spectacle of the film is really well done. Kaser says the reef creatures in Avatar have like small fins on their inner arms to make them more streamlined. That's quite cool design. Oh, I didn't realize. Fins on. Oh yeah, on the inner arms. Yeah. So they have if you look at them, they have quite large forearms. It's like paddles for the sort of alien creatures. The Naho, I think they call it. Yeah, that was quite a nice little feature that they put in there to give them a little bit of difference. Might have pulled that chest out a bit too much. Yeah, you see, when you start creating a creature and you kind of sort of winging it, like the way I'm winging it with this one, you get to have a little bit more fun. You don't have to worry, as long as the overall idea of anatomy is kind of there. You can kind of enjoy the process. And this is the sort of thing that I miss the most when I'm working on actual projects, like actual studio projects, is actually enjoying the process, because you don't get a lot of time to enjoy what you're doing, especially the early stages of exploration, right? If you're working in a studio. So it's nice to sit back and just sculpt something pretty much from imagination and just going full ham and working on it. Cool. Right. That's pretty good. I think what I'll do is I'll just add append. If we're going to go for full creature, might as well. Let's just append what would be the hip area. Cakester says, I like how they really focus on the creature, biology, and avatar. All the animals are perfectly adapted to their habitats, which makes it more lifelike. Yeah, and you see, I think that's I think you're correct. That's something that is very well done in the Avatar films, is the world building aspect of it. Even the military personnel, even they have good world building aspects to them as well. Like the technology they have, even though it's a bit weird. Actually, it's a bit weird how the military have the exact tools that they need, even though they're visiting an alien planet. They have the exact tools they need to do the job that they need to do, which I found a little bit odd. You would have thought that they would have, like crab creatures and robots and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe that's just my overthinking it. But the actual alien creatures, that the world building on those ones is really good. Cool. Unmesh that. Right. So I might need to play around with the proportions a little bit, seeing as we are now moving down towards the leg area. So eventually this will be attached to the stomach here. So just need to make sure I'm going for like a streamline creature, like a fast swimmer. So he can't be too fat or too muscular. Check the art station, the art portfolios real quick, see if there's anyone in there. Nope. Okay. Don't forget, guys, this is a portfolio stream, so if you want, you can add your portfolio to the Discord channel, or if you can't get to the Discord channel, put a link to it in the channel comments, and I'll have a look at it. I prefer to use ArtStation, so if you have an ArtStation account, which I guess everybody should have at this point, if you're an artist, it's one of the mainstream portfolios that we use. Then yeah, that's much better than other sites. Cool. Let's merge the body with the lower body. There we are. Just gonna dynamesh these together. Cool. And now we can come in here and clean up this area. Might have a bit too much topology to play with, so I'm just going to dynamic. Ooh, that took away quite a bit. There we are. Okay. I saw today I was watching a film which I thought was really good when it came out, and I still think it's really good now. Story-wise, maybe not so much, but was a Ready Player One, which was a novel book, apparently a novel before it was the film, a novel adaptation, or sort of based on a novel. And I gotta say, the characters in that are really cool. The sort of CGI characters. I can sort of get why people weren't so sold on the story. But I think it's one of those films that you could just completely turn your brain off to and enjoy. Oh, I got one here from Cakester saying, "What software do you use if you add hair to your characters or creatures?" Good question. See, I haven't had a lot of experience with hair systems when it comes to creatures, because when I used to work in film, and that would be the grooming artists domain. So you'd have a specific artist that would do all the hair. If it's a game character, I've only had a very small amount of what do you call it? Small amount of experience using hair cards. In the past, I tried out with ZBrush, the hair system inside of ZBrush, to create the hair cards, and then I took it into Maya. But then I found that it was quite unpredictable to do that way, so I started to use XGen instead. But I haven't used XGen in quite a while. I think you can tell because I do a lot of concept work now instead of actual hair stuff for characters and creatures. So a lot of it's just either hand painted if it's a concept, or it's sculpted as a piece of geometry, sculpted to look like hair, or it's alpha maps to make it look like hair. But I would probably use XGen to create the hair on creatures if I was to create it for a video game or a film character. That's the way I would go. I wouldn't use ZBrush. There's plenty of others. There's also you can do the same sort of stuff with Houdini. Apparently, I haven't looked into Houdini. It's very, very much one of those specialized programs. I believe it's one of those specialized programs you have to really sit down and read it and watch or learn from. But yeah, XGen is probably your best bet. ZBrush, you can get some good results with ZBrush, but it's very temperamental. The brushes to comb the hair or to place the hair fibers is very complex to use and difficult. So your best bet is to go into XGen and do everything inside of XGen if you haven't got Houdini or some other hair grooming program. And I think that's only because it comes with Maya. I think XGen comes with Maya, I believe. I could be wrong. All right, so he says, I like the creative aspect of Ready Player One. Yeah, I like the chaos of Ready Player One, especially the first trial where they had the sort of race and the chaotic scene of that race, and the amount of Easter eggs that they had as well was pretty cool. I'm not a massive fan of a lot of Easter eggs in films, but I think for Ready Player One, because it's video game related and pop culture related, I think you can get away with it quite a lot more than other films. I mean, the whole film's basically just pop culture, isn't it? So, Cakes says, I think the options are between XGen, Yeti, Houdini, or Blender. I don't use Maya, so that rules out Yeti and XGen. Well, then you've got either Houdini or Blender. I'm sure you use Blender, which is going to be your safest bet. Although I would highly recommend, if you haven't got Maya, just highly recommend watching tutorials on how to use Maya if you're trying to get into the games industry or the films industry, because Maya is still very universally used, although there is more people using Blender in the studios, and studios are starting to use Blender in studios. It's still one of those things where Maya is the go-to for these major studios. So don't rule it out don't rule it out completely, basically. Oh yes, there's also Omnitrix for hair. I have seen that as well. Quite a few years ago, I saw that, as well as the Yeti, and they seem to have really good results. And I think Yeti's used in film design, so that's one to sort of research as well. But I think what you'll find is the studios, if you know the basics on how to create hair, it's basically a form of art in itself, right? When you're creating hair systems or hair for characters, it's basically like learning Marvelous Designer, where you just create costumes. And and or if you use ZBrush, you are not just creating the creatures, but it's mainly used to create creatures, right? It's a very specialized thing that you can get into, and I think it's also very highly sought after by studios. So if you're struggling to do creatures or characters, then you still want to do something inside of 3D for the entertainment sector, then I would recommend learning Marvelous Designer if you're into clothing, or like you say, Omnitrix, XGen, Yeti, Houdini, Blender for hair systems, like creating hair, because and just focusing on that, but having a really good portfolio of stuff, because there's always a place for those sort of artists. I mean, you have creature artists a dime a dozen. You got loads of creature artists or character artists out there, but people who are very specialized in specific programs or artworks like hair and clothing, they're much more difficult to come by. Kesa says, the reason I don't use it is because it costs an arm and a leg, almost literally. Yeah, I know. I pay for it. I don't use it as much, but I do pay for it. And you are correct. It does cost an arm and a leg. It's a very expensive program. And the thing is, all the programs, or all my sort of subscriptions, non-monthly subscriptions, they all come in January. So when January rolls around, I have no money in the bank because all the money goes to these subscriptions, which is great. Just great. It might actually have to come a time, I think it might be next year, I might have to rethink what I am actually using in terms of software, because I think Adobe have just put their subscription fees up again. I think because I got like a message saying that I'd paid for an Adobe subscription, Creative Cloud, and it was much more than what I had what I was paying before. So yeah, I'm not too happy about that, to be fair. I'm not quite sure if it might come to me having to find a free source version of Photoshop and other programs in order to continue doing these videos and stuff like that, because there's just not enough. I'm just not making enough money to keep it going, really. Is there no AI for grooming yet? I don't think there is. I think it's quite a complex thing for AI to sort of manipulate. I could be wrong. It could be some sort of AI for grooming, but I haven't seen it myself. Keksa says, if you're looking for some reference for the fin on the back of your creature, Dimetrodon could be pretty good. Okay, let me look it up quick. 1 second. Dimetrodon. Ah, yes, that sort of. We got. It was in Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Dominion, I believe. It's this thing here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good reference. I think what I was using is, where did I put that reference? 1 second. So I was going for more of a, if I scroll to the top here, this type thing from, I think it was Aquaman. So I'm using this as more of a guide of how I'm going to go about making this creature, which is a very disturbing looking thing, but really cool. So I'll be using that as a form of reference more. Standard. So I want to get some interesting shapes going with this guy. So I'm going to start to really play around with the sort of silhouette of the muscles and stuff like that. It might not make a lot of sense, but if as long as I keep two anatomically humanoid features, then it should be okay. Should make sense. So, you know, adding a six-pack or a abdominal muscles, but making it slightly different, that sort of thing, you know. So the essence of human is there, but it's a little bit different. And I think a lot of people struggle with that sort of the way of looking at things. They kind of struggle a little bit. So it's a good idea to just show it when in the working, I guess. Bit too much of a cavity in your stomach there. Just gonna bring that up a bit more. That's better. And you can also, when you're doing this sort of thing with aliens or creatures, you can really, when you're using human anatomy, you can actually change it quite a bit to not make it look like human anatomy, but at the same time make it look like human anatomy. So as you can see here, even the sort of abdominal muscles can be changed to look more hard surface, but still look like abdominal muscles. So that sort of it represents the abdominal features of the creature, but it's a little different, you know. It's difficult to explain, but you can kind of use human anatomy to your advantage when it comes to creature design. So you can see in the shoulder pads, instead of having them as soft organic, you can go in here and you can make them hard by using trim dynamic, so that they're more like shells, sort of armor plating, but they still have the form of the deltoids. Let me just check. Yeah, nobody wants to put their portfolios up. That's a shame. Case says, oh yeah, more like anglerfish, sort of thin. That also fits. Yeah, kind of like the anglerfish, basically. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to do a little bit of a cheat here. I'm going to add the legs in, but I'm not going to sculpt all the legs. A good thing about using ZBrush is that you can sort of skip past those things if you really if you need to, by just using pre-made brushes. So I'm just going to add some legs in here. Ooh. Legs akimbo. Let me just scale these down. That looks strange. Look how small he looks. Let me just turn perspective off. Get these straight. And then I'm going to scale them up. Now, I'm going to make them slightly longer than normal. So just pull them down a bit. Again, we're keeping to an anatomical form, but we're exaggerating things a little bit more. So once I'm happy with the way the legs look, just going to split it. And now I need to come in here and adjust them so that they fit better. So just going to shrink them. Oops, too much. And I'm going to move them into place. I might have to make the hips a little wider. So start adjusting the hips to fit the legs better. Forget to push out the stomach. Like so. Cool. Bit of a big backside there. And just gonna look at that. Oh dear. Let's just get rid of that. All right. Cool. So these are the hips, and then the legs are gonna go inside here. Now I'm gonna leave a little bit of a gap between the legs so that they don't merge together once we dynamesh this together. Something's going to have to be done with the back side here. I think it's a bit weird. Let me just get rid of it real quick. There we go. Turn on dynamesh. Keksa says they always look so odd when adding new body parts. Yeah, I know, right? Because you got everything everything else is sculpted to like a really cool looking creature, and then you add a new body part, and it's like an average human body part, and it just looks strange. Okay, and because you haven't manipulated it yet as well, it just makes it even look more worse. Let me adjust this. So now that we have, now that we have the legs in, I am just going to adjust them. So what I want to do is, if I just have a look at these references real quick. So you can kind of see that majority of them have kind of standing on their tippy toes type thing, like the ankle is at the top here, and then it sort of comes down. It's kind of, yeah, makes it look more elongated than it is. We're gonna have to, I think we'll have to do that as well, just to keep it in line. So I like the sort of posture this creature's coming out with. So I'm going to try and duplicate this sort of posture going on here. Okay. It's actually quite nice, this, actually. Not having to do too many reviews. I get a chance to kind of finish this off a little bit. Because it's been one of those creatures that have really taken quite a long time to finish or even get started. So, okay, so I'm not too worried about the topology at this point. Just want to get the shapes right. I think there's a images going on Instagram of, you know, it's kind of like make it, just create it, the detail comes later. Have you ever seen one of those? Have you seen one of those images on Instagram lately? It's basically artists just showing like a very quick scribble and then a final design afterwards, where it's just like, don't worry about the detail, that comes much later. So just get it on the page and get it done. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to sculpting. You know, it's like get it on the page, get sculpting, and worry about the detail later. So don't worry about what it looks like at the beginning, because you can just fix that later anyway. Let's pull these legs out, actually. And then I'm going to rotate these. Oops. That's not too bad. Whoa, got some questions here. I would send my portfolio in, but I haven't actually got one yet. Oh dear. I highly recommend that you create one as fast as possible. If you're looking to get hired, if you're just sort of still practicing and working on personal projects, you're not quite there yet, then don't worry too much. But the sooner you get a portfolio created, the better. Slay Shadow says, wow, I am late. Not really. I think we started an hour ago, so you are late, sorry. But you haven't missed much. We've just been sculpting away here on this creature, waiting for other people to join. Also waiting for people to put their portfolio on the Discord channel or in the comment section, so we can do portfolio review. If you're wanting a portfolio review, obviously. If not, then I'll just carry on for another hour sculpting this guy and talking about it. If you have any questions you want to ask, then please leave a comment and ask me any questions you like, and I'll get around to it as well. Caker says those images are the current trend on IG and LinkedIn. Seen them everywhere. Good tip. Yeah, it is. It's very good. I've seen them around as well quite a bit, but I still think they sort of hone truths, you know. So just make it put it on the page and make it look good later. Is basically all it means. That's not too bad. Look at those feet. Jesus. Let me just clean this a little bit. Just going to smooth it out. Now, I'm not too worried about the digits on the feet because we're probably going to have to make new ones. So, not too worried about that. I'm more worried about the way they are pointing. Okay. So the front. So you can actually do quite a lot of adjustments here before you dynamesh it. Just so that you're 100% happy before you go any further. And I think that's pretty good. I might just pinch, because I want to make it a little bit slender, the legs here. I'm just going to pinch the ends here with the calf and the, it's not the thigh, that's the calf muscle. Is that the calf muscle? Yeah, calf muscle is, and where the back of the heel is. There we are. Cool. Oh, got some chat going on. Those images are, oh, okay, I was just seeing those ones. How many hours do you spend sculpting per day? Well, I work from 9 to 5 every Monday to Friday. So that's 8 hours. Because I have an hour lunch break. So that's 8 hours. That's not just purely sculpting either. That's also Substance Painter, Maya, and all the other things as well, Unreal Engine. And also a lot of problem solving. When you get into a studio, you'll probably find that you do a lot of problem solving, maybe even more problem solving. If you're a senior artist later on in your life, or you're a lead artist, I mean, when you're a lead artist, you don't really do much sculpting at all. But as a senior artist, you'll start to find that you have to do a lot of problem solving activities in the in the job. So I'd say, for ease of answering the question, 9 to 5, so that's 8 hours, and then on a day that I can, after work, so that's another 3 hours after work, depending on the day, because I have Mondays I'm on live stream here, so I'm live streaming for an hour or 2 hours. That's 2 hours extra sculpting. Tuesdays after work, I sculpt for 4 hours about 4 hours after work. Wednesday I take a day off. Thursday I'm on here, so that's another 2 hours. Friday, depending on the Friday, because I will normally either do video editing or sculpting. If I have the sculpt done and the concept done, then I'll be doing video editing. And then Saturday it's what do you call it? Yeah, it's about 5 hours sculpting. Sunday is family day, so I go and spend time with my family, so I don't really do much sculpting. As well as clean the flat day, because the flat's not going to clean itself. So yeah, I do quite a lot of sculpting in my spare time. I'd like to do other things, but because I have the YouTube channel as well as my portfolio, I tend to spend a lot of time doing a lot of sculpting. Also keeping up with all the other things like what do you call it? Patreons, Discord, trying to keep up with Discord. Because of all the stuff I have to do in my other times, it's difficult to keep up with that. Yeah, I just don't have enough time in the day, to be fair. Plus, I go to the gym quite a lot in the spare times I have. So yeah. I have no time. So you got a portfolio. Cool. If you give me a second, I'll put a link in the chat. Here we are. I'll put a link in the chat. If you want to put your portfolio in there, then I'll gladly take a look if you're ready. It's as long as it's the ArtStation link, that would be great. Casey says, I already do a lot of problem solving and it ain't fun. I actually quite like it. I actually quite enjoy doing the problem solving because you know that there's an eventual solution, right? And I think that's like why I was quite good at maths and why I liked a lot of maths when I was in high school, because of the problem solving, and you know that there's a specific solution to it. So that's why I kind of like puzzles and stuff like that as well. You know, I think it's the OCD in me to figure things out like that and get it fixed. I think a lot of artists have OCD, to be fair. If you are an artist, you probably are likely to have a lot of OCD because you like things a certain way and you want things to look a certain way and to, you know, be a certain way. I think my parents told me once, well, my dad told me, my mum told me, and when I was in school, I didn't like people touching my sort of desk because I had the pencils and everything laid out in a very specific way, and I hated people touching my stuff. So I would just get annoyed by it. So yeah, it's a lot of OCD. Not a lot, but just a little bit of OCD. But when it comes to work, it's definitely the OCD. Casey says, I find it takes me like 4 hours to solve the problem. Then I think of the meme where the bloke throws his computer in the trash. Yeah, it takes me 4 hours to solve a problem, but it's stupid because it'll be something that is very plain to see, right? So I had an issue at work. I could kind of tell you what it is because it's nothing non-disclosure, but we had a model, character model, that we put into the engine at a specific polygon count, Unreal Engine, and Unreal was reading twice the amount of vertices on the character, right? And when we brought it back into Maya, it didn't read twice as many vertices. So me and the rigging artist, because I passed the model onto the rigging artist, we discussed this like for an hour or an hour and a half. And it actually, the thing that was making the vertices double was the fact that it had hard and soft deformers on it in Maya. So basically what happened was it was showing the model as a soft surface, but underneath it was a hard, the hard surface was still applied. So it was giving a false reading of the model when it was in Maya. And when you take it into Unreal actually told you that there was double the amount of vertices. So all you had to do really was just hard all the edges, unlock the normals, soften all the edges, and then re-export it, and it came out the correct topology, or the correct topology count. So yeah. Slay Shadow, if you put that into the art portfolios, that'd be great. Yeah, you should be able to find it. It should say art portfolios in there. I'll take a look into it. But yeah, that's just one of the sort of problem solving things that I enjoy doing. It's the ones that actually have a solution to it. When it doesn't have a solution, then you know that you've properly messed up and things aren't going to go well. But I'd say 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 times there's always a solution to the issue. So yeah. Cool. Just refresh the Cater says, when I imported the Basilisk Wizard into Blender, the symmetry was slightly off, but it was fine in ZBrush. Turns out there was an offset of 0.17. Took me 4. Oh, yeah, those are the ones I hate. Was that an offset in ZBrush? Because, yeah, that when you exported it, because that's hell on earth. When things aren't symmetrical in ZBrush, that's when I start to panic, because it's just not going to be a fun time, especially if you're sculpting both sides at the same time. But yeah, it's those sort of things that are just really, it's painful because it's a very easy thing to fix, but your mind will go through 1,000 different iterations of what's wrong with it before it finds the correct thing. And I think that's something that I think AI might be better at, or it might not be better at, because if you've got a machine, because if you're using, there's some like programs that will tell you whether or not your model is the correct model before you put it into the engine, right, or into the film or whatever. But they won't help you actually fix it. They'll just tell you the problem. So I'm not sure if AI is actually going to be able to fix the issue, or you're going to have someone there to actually sit there and fix the issue by hand, you know? Maybe that's one of the things that people will still be hired to do in the future, is just be the operator that just fixes the issue when AI messes up. Who knows? All right, let me just refresh the page. I'm still not seeing. The drawings up. Slay Shadow. Slay Shadow, if you can let me know when you've added your portfolio, I'll take a look. I wonder where it is. You should be at the top. Yeah, it should be at the top. Caster says, I wish software told you that what the problem is and potentially why it's happening, rather than just telling me what it is. Yeah, that's the fun part of figuring it out, right? or maybe not. Cool. I'm a little bit hesitant to move on to the next thing on this character, because I'm waiting on Shadows or Slay Shadow to add his portfolio. I'll just keep refreshing it every 5 seconds or so, or 10 seconds. Cool. Now let's have a just quick look at the references. Okay, you got some crazy stuff going on here. Oh, that looks quite cool. I like the ears on this one. Oh, that's the one that I love. I love this film. Has anyone seen this film yet? Does anyone know what this creature's from? Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at it. Don't cheat. Yeah, this one is from the film Relic. I think I mentioned it in one of my videos before, but it is a very fascinating creature. It scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. Has anybody seen this film before? I think they should redo this film, to be fair. I think it'll be a hit film. But yeah, I think maybe we can recreate it in 3D for one of the projects. That'd be quite cool. Like, well, maybe one of the tutorials. But yeah, really good film. Really good film. Just move that out of the way real quick. Said Slay said that. Okay, let's have a look at. Let's find it on ArtStation. Let's see. Raz _ art. Raz art. Is that Ooh, where's it again? Let me just find the artist. Okay, yeah, there's one person by the name of Razart. Okay. All right, Razart. Sorry. What's next? Slay Shadow. If you is this your portfolio? If this is, that'll be great. I'll just continue on with it. But yeah, so you are a character artist by the looks of it. Okay, yes, it is cool. So you're a character artist from India. Let's have a look at your About Me page or snippet here. Working with software for my assets, Maya, modeling, rendering, Unreal, Unity, Marvelous Designer, Houdini, the knowledge of 3D character art, high and low poly, understanding of loop through modeling, creative mind, and manipulating the model to interact with digital environment using Maya and sort of open-minded project manager. Cool. Okay. Let's just have a look at your About quick. So these are the. I remember that speed tree. That was a funny one. It was. I remember when it first came out, speed tree, and it was something very basic. It was a very basic program, and it just made little trees that you could put in your scene. It's quite funny. But yeah, got some good knowledge of some tools here, so that's good. What is it that you would like out of this review? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a job in the industry, or are you looking to just see what works with your portfolio, or is there anything in particular you'd like me to sort of dive in on as well? Let me know in the chat. We're just gonna have a quick look. I was actually drawn to this one quite a bit. That's for practice hard surface. Yeah, I like that. Oh, we've got a little turntable. Now you see, if you polish this up a little bit, I think you could. I mean, it's still a good kit sort of sculpt and kit bash sort of thing that you got going on here. It's quite a strong piece, I'd say. If you maybe took it one step further and finished it a little bit more, like added, I don't know, you've got key shot techniques, I guess. Go in there and add some different metal materials to the pieces, and then take it in Photoshop and composite it a little bit. Make it look a little bit more finished. I think it would work pretty well. I do like the designs of it though. Got some good concepting going on here. Very nice. There we are. Cool. Next thing. This one. Burakai. Made in ZBrush, rendered in Maya, assets making, practice for 3D printing. Okay. It's nice. It's nice. This one popped out. Masked Man. Let's showcase a dark, mysterious character wearing a cracked, glowing skull-like mask with ethereal light emanating from it. Okay. Let's have a look at the actual sculpt. I quite like that. I like the look of it. You got some. Is this X-Gen or is this ZBrush? This must be ZBrush, right? It looks like ZBrush hair fibers. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the ZBrush hair fibers, but you can make it work. You can make it work. This one stood out to me a bit. Maybe because it's more of a character. Yeah. I could see this in the video game. It's quite a strong one, this. And you got some good breakdowns on it. I would say this one would be first, because it's more of a finished character. This is Avatar. Navi Avatar. Yeah, it's very difficult to get the face right, isn't it? It still looks a bit human, unless you're going for more of the human Navi look. I'd say it's a little bit human still. Is this using Character Creator as a base, or Is a sculpted like character creator. What is it called? Yeah, character creator manipulating it or projecting your model onto the character creator, because that's something that is quite sought out for, in fact, in the industry. People who know how to use character creator in Unreal, or sorry, MetaHuman in Unreal Engine and character creator. But that's quite nice. I'm not a massive fan of the hair. It's again, hair is very difficult to do. It's one of those things I try to avoid like the plague. So this one's quite nice. Hellboy. I don't think you need this image at the top here, from that to this. I would stick with just the final piece. Maybe update this with a better render. Maybe, take into less darkness. There's a lot of darkness going on. I know it's just a composite, but I think the stronger one is this one here. Maybe this one as well. Maybe render this with a different light pose inside a ZBrush. It looks like it's inside a ZBrush. This one's nice. This was quite cool. Yeah, again, I think the final composite ones like this, we can maybe get away with not having in your portfolio for now, just because it's a little bit distracting. And I think the actual sculpting work is better than the final composites. What's this one? Hoyt. This is my personal latest project. I've been working on it for the last 6 days. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Some nice, what do you call it? Extras or clothing going on here. I think the skin's a little bit too wet. Got too much roughness on it. Might want to tone it down just a little bit, unless it's supposed to be like a sweaty guy or a sweaty person. Then maybe leave it. But now you see what's happening here as well with the eyes, and it's no fault of yours. It's just without the eyelashes, right? Without the eyelashes, it doesn't give that shadow that you'd normally get on the eyes, like hanging over the eyes. So it kind of looks like they're just stuck in his eyes, stuck in his head, with no shadow to fall onto them. So maybe adding some fake shadow on the actual eyeball would work, but it depends on what you want to do with the character. If it's just a still like this, then I would do that. I mean, this is better. This is a lot better, this one. But for some reason, the eyes are a bit too bright with the colors. It could just be the way the way it's rendered. Maybe dull down the white a little bit. Yeah, that's quite nice actually. That's a strong piece. What's this one? Cyclops. Oh. You got a video here. One second. Oh, it's a time-lapse video. Okay. Some good techniques. It's not bad actually. I quite like the idea of the eyeball hanging just underneath the mouth, right? And then there's this massive gaping mouth underneath it. I think that's pretty cool. I think when you're doing time-lapse videos, I found this with the amount of time-lapse videos I've done, is that when you do a time-lapse video, don't do it too fast. It's disorientating, and because you're sculpting and you're moving around the character quite a lot and very fast, it can make it very disorientating for people to watch. If you do a time-lapse video, make sure it's not too fast that people get sick. And also, cutting a time-lapse video is kind of an art in itself, right? So I would normally start off with the base mesh, and then I'll start to sculpt, and then I'll cut it to the next point where it's a little bit more interesting and a little bit more interesting each time. So you can cut out quite a lot of the I would call dead space when it comes to time-lapse videos. But keep the actual speed of it a little slower. I find that with a lot of artists or people who do time-lapse videos, that they just chuck it in the full video and then they put it to times 200 or whatever, whatever it is, percent, and then it just goes far too fast, and people get disorientated by it. I hope that people don't get disorientated by my ones. I think that's I hope that it's quite easy to watch, to be fair. Cool. Okay, let's one quick. Jacob fan art. Jacob, what's that from? How to Train Your Dragon. Okay. My personal latest project. Okay, so you got some nice clothing going on here. I would maybe change. Well, I don't know the character Jacob. Which one's the character Jacob? 1 second. How to Train Your Dragon Jacob. Oops. Is there a Jacob in the film? It doesn't say. I think, yeah, it might just be an actual person you've called Jacob. Yeah. I like the clothing. The trousers could do with a little bit more detail, like sort of wrinkle folds and stuff like that, just to break it up from the leather. So when you look at clothing and you have leather like that, right? You've got leather over the top of cloth. The cloth will be a bit baggier, and that's a great way to break up the silhouette as well, is to add some baggier clothing. Like the cloth will have loads of wrinkles going through it, whereas the leather, which is a bit more sturdier, will actually be less wrinkled. Still have some wrinkle, but not as much, because it's more of like an armor type thing. It just helps to your eyes to flow around the character a bit more, a little bit more easier. Whereas if you have everything the same sort of style, where there's no wrinkles or change in shape, anything like that, then it can make your eyes sort of just see the whole thing and not really look at the details and stuff, and it just makes it a little bit more interesting when you have more variation on your character. So you see here where the leg is bending on the knee, you would expect there to be some wrinkles, especially where the strings are attached. There'd be a wrinkle folds in here because it's tightened against the leg, But it's a nice character. These things you'll learn anyway when you start to develop a bit more anyway. Oh, just grab a quick drink. Just gonna check the other, making sure there's any others real quick. Ooh. Okay. Look at this pirate or Pain. Realistic portrait made in Maya, sun touch up in ZBrush, skin texture in Mari, clothes and assets textured in Substance. Okay. These are all cool. It's really nice to see this sort of thing, but a little bit more in-depth images. So I want to see, like I say, I want to see the clothing rendered separately, like this one. I want to see different angles. I want to see, maybe show me the UV layout so we can see that you can do UVs, lay them out properly. Yeah, just a bit more really. And I don't think adding things to a white background is a good idea either. I tend to stay away from pure white and pure black, or as much as possible. I would put a nice neutral gray, like a little bit darker than neutral gray for a background color. And when you're working in ZBrush, try to stay away from, well, I find this gradient to be quite distracting when I'm sculpting. I'll just quickly show you. So you can see here, I just have a pure gray background, right? When you first load ZBrush up, it's going to give you a gradient background, and that is just distracting as hell, and it looks very unprofessional. Let's just bring this back up. it looks very unprofessional, right? Because it looks like it's been taken into Photoshop and then just put a gradient from black to light on it. What I recommend you do when you open up your ZBrush is you just come over to the color tab, was it the document tab, and you see this background color. Click on that and then drag it to anywhere outside. So drag it, say, to about here or up here, and you can see you can change the color of your background to any color you like, but keeping it a nice neutral gray whilst you're sculpting doesn't make it distracting when you're sculpting. So now I can come around here and I can just see it's a nice neutral gray, nothing's distracting me, and it works pretty nicely. And that will help with the rendering as well. In fact, that color gray in the background is probably the best color to use for these sort of renders as well. So if you take it in Photoshop, you just put a nice color like that dark gray in there, and that will be a nice background for it. Because you can see here, you're missing out on all the key light or the rim light that's going on the outer edge of him, right? So if you put a darker background on him, around him, you'll be able to see the form of the head a lot better. Okay, let's have a look at just one more. Wuhan art. Was it Wuhan or was it Wukong? I can't remember. Is that a video game, right? So it's a fan art. Is it fan art? Another fan art. It's good. It's all right to do fan art as long as you keep to the style of the art that you're creating. Another thing, when putting things on ArtStation like this, I think there's a button where you can press to scale up the image so it's big. I would always make it small or make it not stretched out like to fill the entire screen, because when a person who's hiring for trying to hire someone is scrolling through artwork, he doesn't want to have to see the top of the head, right, and then have to scroll all the way down just to get to the chest of the character. He wants to see everything in one go, basically, because art directors or people who are hiring only have about 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops to look through portfolios, and having to scroll all the way down just to see the full image, where it's best to just have it like this rather than have it like this. It saves a lot of time, and also it shows off the piece in its entirety. So you can have some close-up pieces, but if you have to scroll down to sort of get the full image in, then it's just it's going to be a pain. Oh, but this one's fine. Like, having a close-up with the face like this, because it's there. But having something like this, where I have to scroll down, it's just it's too big, I think. That's what I want to see. Some nice hair cards. You see, this is what I like seeing. I could actually go without seeing a lot of the final renders. You could have maybe 2 final renders, and then I like to see the gray box more. So I like seeing this sort of stuff. Even having a look at the rigging side, this sort of thing. That's even though it's a pretty basic, but it's showing that you have rigging skills as well, and you can what it looks like in low poly form inside of Maya, which is good. So that's really good. I don't really need this one at the bottom here. I think this one's a bit. It's not essential, right? If you're a character artist, it's not essential to see the weapon, so don't worry about putting the weapon in there. But this is strong. This is a strong character that you have here. I would just adjust the images so that you don't have to scroll all the way down just to see the full thing. So I'm going to leave it there, but what I would say is the monkey at the front, because it's a very strong character, then the lady next, this elf lady next, then Hellboy, but take away the composited images because those are just making it less attractive. Then this sort of cybernetic character, or sort of cyberpunk type character, put that one next after Hellboy, but I would also maybe try to composite with some color, like different materials of metal and stuff. Maybe give it a go if you still have the file, or if you don't, then don't worry about it. But maybe get a few more renders of that one out a bit as well, different angles of the camera. Don't need this one. Interior rendering, you don't need anything. You don't need. I would stick in another portfolio inside of this portfolio, so you'll have two portfolios. You'll have work in progress and your final pieces. So anything that you don't like the look of, just put in there, so that the person who's looking at a portfolio can then go in there and just see what you've been working on. You know, it's good to have them still. It's just not good to always show the least strongest pieces. And I mean, I can't really speak very much on that because I just put everything on mine. But you know, I've got a job, so I'm not worried about that. If I was to find a new job, I would probably sort my portfolio out a little bit better. So yeah, so I think the strongest ones are the monkey, the elf warrior, the Hellboy, the cyborg person. I like this one because of the face, the HOYT. And I think all the others, yeah, if you can get this one fixed with the face, like the way you've rendered it, I would put that in. Also add some UV maps, details and stuff like that. I haven't had a look at this one at the top here, top left, but I'm not sure. Mythical Warrior. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay. That's nice. Get rid of the from that to this and just have him in it. I think that would be good. You don't really need to explain how you made it. Just, you know, show some nice gray renders of him. Should work well. Got some nice marvelous design and stuff going as well. Yeah. Okay, that's quite a strong character. I would also have this one in. Maybe as a profile picture, the profile picture itself, maybe change that a little, maybe change that to something else. If you have, I was going to say, if you have the ZBrush, but the ZBrush has hair cards rather than hair fibers, I think this one's quite nice, this one here, but I think that's what you have already, so just square it a little bit better, like crop it a little better. So crop it with just the head. Don't worry about the chest area, just the head area would be fine. Just so it's not cut off, you know, you're not cutting off the head basically. And then all the rest of them can be put into a different folder. I hope that helped, mate. We sort of went quite a while there, but I hope that helped with your portfolio. Again, you have got quite a lot of good stuff here. I would just maybe get rid of the 3 at the bottom because they're not that great. They're not that strong. They're good, but they're not strong. But the rest are quite strong. You just need to pick the best ones, which I believe are the ones that I've mentioned. And the others you can just stick into a separate folder. Thank you very much for letting me borrow your artwork. Cool. Let's just check the chat real quick. Okay. Tomorrow, nice to see you again. It says, I don't use AI for anything creative like art or sculpting, but I constantly have ChatGPT open for problem solving in ZBrush and Blender, etc. Does anyone else do this? No, I don't technically. I don't tend to use AI for anything, to be fair. ChatGPT is that built? No, that's Google's got their own versions, haven't they? But I find that Google's version of ChatGPT works quite well for getting you to the point, right? Because you can search for websites, all these different websites for fucking answers, but I think the Google version just gets you results pretty quickly, which is a time saver. Maybe not always right, but it's a time saver nonetheless. Kesa says that's a good idea for the ChatGPT problem solving. I might try that. It says, do you have any tutorials on things like rendering breakdowns on UVs and topology and things like that? Yes, I do. Let me just go to my store real quick. Okay, so I think I've mentioned this before, but this one here, the character pipeline tutorial, runs you through everything you need to know about the character pipeline tutorial from ZBrush high poly model, which is provided, to Substance Painter texturing. So you'll go through retopoing, UV mapping, and texturing in Substance. I also explain a little bit about what differences there are between film UVs and game UVs, and how to set them up inside of Maya to take it to Substance Painter, because there's about 3 different types of UVs that you can do. There's film, game, and also game, but it's more like World of Warcraft style. You know, it's not like AAA style. So AAA style, you can have multiple UVs, like UDIMs, not as much as game, not as much as film, but you're allowed multiple UV islands. Whereas World of Warcraft style or League of Legends style, you have one UV island and you have to pack everything into that and then paint it by hand. But I go over that in the character pipeline tutorial on that one. And then this one over here, the Substance for Beginners, is basically the same as this one, but I give you the high poly and the low poly of the demon, and I walk you through how to use Substance Painter in a non-destructive way to texture the demon for a AAA game style character. So yeah, I do have 2 tutorials. I want to make a 3rd one, but I haven't had much time at the moment, so I just had to keep it on hold for a bit. Hope that helped. It says, I just tried to do that with the gradient thing, but it doesn't seem to want to remove it. Are you sure you did it correctly? You have to go to documents, and then it's the back color here, or background color, or you can change the background gradient range, because you can see it's on here as well. You can just change that to 0, and that should be able to get rid of the gradient. He also says, on an unrelated note, I recently added an arachnid mod to Minecraft, and it's absolutely terrifying. Oh, okay. I don't play Minecraft, so I'll have to take your word for it. What says, liking and subscribing for better reach. Also, my friend is learning this. I am sharing this to him. Oh, well, thank you very much. Best honest man, thank you. Well, thank you very much. Okay, so I saw the gradient thing. It was because the gradient range was turned on rather than, yeah, okay. That's, yeah, it's a simple mistake to make, but we're all been there. Cool. All right. Yeah, I think that's. I don't really want to get into this any further, to be fair. What I like doing when I'm doing my time-lapse videos, when I'm doing those creatures for you guys for time-lapse videos, is what I'll do is I'll sculpt for 30 minutes, and then I'll stop the sculpting, and then do something else, go somewhere else, do something else for about an hour, then come back and then sculpt again for another 30 minutes. And that's how I tend to sculpt. So we've worked on this one now for about an hour, and I don't want to go any further with it because I want to kind of give my eyes a chance to refresh. I can kind of see where I need to fix things, like the hands and the feet, obviously, because we just added them. But I don't want to take it much further because it could be disastrous if you spend too much time on it in one sitting. Casey says, is there a way you can get the gradient thing to automatically be set up when you launch ZBrush or do you have to do it every time? I think there's a way you can do it. If you go to documents and you say, say it's at 1, right, for the gradient, if you turn that to 0 and you just say save as startup document, that should save the background color as gray every time you open it. It should automatically just save it. Boeing says, Zerg creature, when? I didn't have a specific day, to be fair. Yeah, I could possibly make a Zerg creature. Is this something you want to learn how to sculpt, or is this something you'd probably just want to watch as a time-lapse video? Because I can do both, but I need to get through... what was it we're doing? Oh, we're doing Godzilla. We're doing Godzilla's bust normally on Thursdays. So once we've done that, maybe I'll move on to a Zerg creature if you want. Don't see why not. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Sorry, I have to sort of vet these comments before they come through. Mustafa Haider says, yo, my Ninja Turtles sculpt is so perfect. I learned a lot from your anatomy streams. Now I'm a retopologize it and animate it. I want to remake some scenes. The sculpt took me an entire week. Wow. Well, I'm glad you know you're learning some stuff from the anatomy class. We're moving on to the legs next week, so that should be fun. I got to do some scanning this weekend of the legs anatomy, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing as well on Saturday. But yeah, thank you very much. Cakesa says thanks a lot. She says you should sculpt a crocodilian at some point. Yeah. I'm gonna have to write all these down and just have to get through them whenever I can, you know. Tomorrow says I'll try the Google version. Yeah, the Google version's crazy because it's just sort of appeared, right? If you type in, I don't know, how many cakes does a baker make, or something, or how many eggs are there in a baker's dozen, it'll give you an AI question, an AI answer to it, and then it will tell you where the AI answers came from, like which websites it came from. So it sifts through the entire Google's bloody website archive to find the answer you're looking for. And I don't know, maybe 9 times out of 10 is correct. Maybe, you know, depending on the website as well. There's a lot of misinformation, disinformation stuff going on out there. But you know, nine times out of 10, I'd say I got the correct answer from Google's thing. That the whole thing I told you about with the what was it, the topology that was incorrect when we were trying to load it into Unreal. I actually Googled it and it told me exactly what it was. Well, it didn't exactly tell me what it was. It told me the things that could occur to make the vert count double, and I had to read it, and I saw hard surfacing normally doubles the vert count as well, and I thought, okay, well that must be the issue because there's no other issues. So you kind of have to, you know, make a best judgment. It's not going to tell you exactly the correct answer all the time. So yeah, says why not sculpt a Ben 10 alien in realistic style? Again, I'm up for it. I just got to find time. You know, I've got to just find some time to do it. But I'm definitely up for doing that. I think I like the forearm guy. It's a bit quite a lot to do on the forearm guy. I also like the sort of orange dog creature. Let me just try and find it. Let's have a look at that. Ben 10. See, what I like about Ben 10, because I was a kid, right, when it came out, what I like about Ben 10 are the original characters, not the new ones. So you got these ones here, right? So I like this orange one down here, this sort of dog creature. The forearm one is not in here for some reason. I don't know why, but there is a forearm guy. This guy here, which is quite cool. I like this one as well, the diamond. That's pretty basic shaping going on. Yeah, I don't see why not. Why we couldn't make a Ben 10 character. You see, there's so many of them now. It should be called Ben 1000 rather than Ben 10. I don't know. Oh, Bowen says, sadly, I have to go, but I have to say you are the best. Thanks for your content. Oh, well, thanks a lot. You haven't really missed much because I think I'm gonna leave it there for tonight, guys. I think it's been quite a long stream anyway. Bit worried there wasn't enough portfolio stuff, but I guess you can't win it every week, can you? I guess we got a lot of work done on this guy, so that's quite cool. And we decided now we're going to take it into a final character rather than just a bust. So that's pretty cool. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to render this using Keyshot. Now I have to reload Keyshot because the perpetual license is gone. Can't use that anymore. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to buy Keyshot on a subscription fee, which is even more money gone. But I think rendering this in Keyshot will be more beneficial than rendering it inside of ZBrush. Not that I can't do it in ZBrush. I just think it's going to look a lot better in Keyshot. And with Keyshot subscription, I'll be able to get more out of it. So let me just show you real quick. I'll show you what I mean. There's an artist on here who uses Keyshot for his portfolio stuff. I think he uses a subscription for it. Has a subscription for it. But I'll just find his artwork real quick. It's one of my favorite artists. So this person, Gerard. Whoops, where is it? Gerard S. Morantz. Morantz? Yeah, that's what he says. He has got some cool stuff going on here. But he uses Keyshot to create turntables. So this is done in Keyshot, I believe. Or, well, actually in ZBrush. But he has got ones that are done in Keyshot. It must have ZBrush 2025. This must be Redshift that he's using to render this. But he has got Keyshot versions in here. But it's just a nice way of making a turntable for it. Where's his turntables? I think his older work maybe had. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Is this one? Oh, we did this in ZBrush Core. I think he might have rendered it outside of ZBrush Core though, because I don't think you can do this in ZBrush Core. But this is the sort of thing that you can do inside a Keyshot, right? So with the actual subscription, because the one I had, it didn't have the ability to make turntables because it wasn't licensed for that. But if I can get the subscription fee or the subscription for Keyshot, I could make the turntables look more like this rather than the Maya version, which is just a clay version, which I think these look really cool. You know, these look really good in portfolios. Anyway, yeah, I did say F-bomb. It's not PG, okay? I'm not exactly PG. I do drop the F-bomb here and there. I'm only human. All right, cool. And I'm old enough to swear, okay? Give me a break. Cool. All right, let's stop it there. So thank you, everybody, for coming in tonight or staying in tonight and watching me sculpt this character, and also the portfolio review, the single portfolio review. I just want to say thank you to all. I'm just going to show the memberships real quick. So I just want to say thank you to all my members. We have a brand new one called Lexi. Thank you very much for joining. We got Blake, Tygon, Phantom. This is where I get really, really bad with names, by the way. ZBrush Argentina, my 1 monthers, Yahoozan, I think that's how I say it. Yodai, Kaio, Caesar Sculpts, Joseph, S. Salza, and Omega. And my 2 monthers, I'm getting quite a lot of them now. I got Abishk, Wesley, VSWAT, Shreya Fennick, Dylan, all my Asian guys who have cryptic messaging for their names. I'm so sorry, I can't read it, but I want to say thank you to all of you guys. MHN Artist, EMAC 3D, EFPV, Section Saval, Black Secrets, Sunel Verma, Tobias, Home Slice Creative, Digi Locker Art and Design, Krishnash Sharma. Wow, Krishnash Sharma. That's a mouthful. Joseph, my 6-monthers, Joseph Bonkowski, Dave Newhouse, Mateo, Silik, Alpeditive 35, Ganesh, Jace Burgoyne, Joa, Lewis Friteus, Ivan Savoyne, Maria Carvalho, and Nicholas Anastasio, and also my Asian friend as well. Thank you very much, you guys, for being members, and also to my Patreon members. The tier 1s are empty. Tier 2 is by Alberto R. de Flower. That's a long name. Best in Shot, Gradual Boredom, Jason E. Canville, Joseph Bonkowski, King Amp, Chrono, Lost in Limbo, Makai 903, Rafael Diaz, Shabicio, Malepo, Thassa, Tom Uro are my tier 2s, and my tier 3s are Aaron Topman, Anika, Ecole, Francois, De Pelatoge, I don't know, Owen Vandermine, Gabrielle, Ganesh, Hofi76, Jack Boer, Jeremy Mock, Mahovia, Roger, Tyler Kraus, and Yazukan, and also a symbolic person that I cannot say. Sorry. Yeah, I hate names. I want to just say thank you all for coming in tonight. I will be leaving this up until Monday, so if you want, you can rewatch this or watch the anatomy one until Monday. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'm going to leave you with the end stream. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday for the anatomy sculpt. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in more exclusive content and want to support my work further, then please check out my Patreon page at MLW_creative for more. Also, view past live streams you might have missed in Tier 3 tutorial support, where I will be archiving future streams moving forward. If you are interested in other full-length tutorials, brushes, and models, then check out my online stores for more useful content. I would also like to thank all my subscribers and patrons for supporting me for this long. Again, thanks for watching and stay safe.